Hi everybody, I'm Surangu from Englishman. As it is Vesak Poe, I selected a story from Buddhism. This is from Zen Buddhism. Zen Buddhism is a sort of a chapter of Buddhism, a type of Buddhism that is practiced in China. And it has gone to China from India, they say so. That is it. So, one story from Zen Buddhism. Interesting thing is, I am selecting the videos from the YouTube channel Dare to Do. Dare to Do. You don't want to worry about to do things. You can do things. That is what they say. Dare to Do. So in this channel, you find a lot of videos, very good videos, interesting videos, motivational. And you just go to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Dare to Do.
A story.
The story by Suzuki
Roshi.
Suzuki Roshi has written this story, and they must have produced all these things. And thanks again to the material that we are using to teach you English language.
Once upon a time, a professor went to a Zen master. He asked
Once
him,
upon a time, a professor went to a Zen master. Once upon a time. You understand what once upon a time means? Once upon a time is, once upon a time, that's the story, you know the fact. Once upon a time, there was a professor. And he went to a Zen master. Zen master is the priest, the monk of that particular chapter of Buddhism. So there is a monk, there is a Zen, he is the Zen master. And this guy, once upon a time, the professor went to a Zen master. We don't know why still. Shall we see why he went to see the priest, the Zen master?
to explain the meaning of Zen.
He asked him to explain the meaning of Zen. Who asked? The professor asked. He asked him to, who is this him? The priest, Zen master. The professor asked Zen master to explain the meaning of Zen. What is Zen? Zen is a sort of a Buddhism. What is Zen? The professor wanted to know what Zen is. There are different sorts of Buddhism, versions of Buddhism, as they say. And then what is this Zen exactly? He wanted to know because he was a professor and he has a very good knowledge about things that he was studying, he was doing. And now his problem is to learn about Zen Buddhism. And the very first thing that they need is a sort of a definition or sort of a idea what Zen is. That is the question he asks. Continue.
Quietly poured a cup of tea.
The master quietly poured a cup of tea. The master, that is the priest, poured a cup of tea. You know, cup of tea is tea cup, and when you pour a tea into the cup, it becomes a cup of tea, a cup filled with tea. Yeah. The master quietly, the master, a Buddhist monk, he quietly poured a cup of tea. Yeah. That's really sort of a very common thing, pouring a cup of tea. Shall we see what happens?
Was full, but he continued to pour.
The cup was full. Now when you pour tea into the cup, it becomes full. But he did not stop pouring tea into the cup. Who did not stop? The Zen master did not stop. He started pouring tea into the cup, and then he continued, and the level of the tea level came up to the brim. Brim is something like this. This is the brim. But then what happened? Up to the brim and overflowed. That is what is happening. So the cup was full, but he continued to pour. He continued. He did not think about, oh, cup is full, I should stop here. And he did not want to stop it. He continued. So see what happens.
The professor could not stand this any longer, so he questioned the
professor could not stand this any longer. Professor could not stand this any longer. Stand this. This is, I'm standing. It is not this standing. Standing. Now, for example, I can't stand that. You would say, oh, I can't stand that. Bad thing happening there. One guy is ill-treating another. One guy is hitting the small guy. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. And I go to him and I ask him, hey, what are you doing, guy? That's a bad thing. Yeah, something like that. For example, now somebody is pressing your hand against this one. Yeah. And then he would ask you, oh, can you stand? Can you bear? It's okay. Yeah, I can bear. Mm. Can you bear? Yeah, yeah. Mm. Can you bear? Bit difficult. I can't bear. I can't bear. I can't bear. Then he takes it out. I can't bear. Oh, I can't bear. You understand bear meaning? So professor was looking at the pouring tea into the cup, and it was full, then overflowing, and professor, what's happening there? Professor could not stand, bear, be patient. That's okay. That's okay. If professor thinks, that's okay, very good. Yeah. Now the cup is full and tea is coming out. Yeah, that's natural. That's okay. Yeah. No, no, no. It is not so. Professor, why is he doing this? No, cup is full. He is impatient, not patient. If you are patient, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. If you are impatient, you are impatient. Do you understand? You are impatient. In cricket matches, when we watch cricket matches, the final over, and then it is really, really decisive. Decision comes with the final over, and then we are impatient. What's happening? Something like that. Professor became really impatient. The professor could not stand this any longer. Oh, I can look at this this way. Professor could not stand any longer.
Impatiently. Why do
So
you
he
keep
questioned the master impatiently. Impatient, you understand impatient. If I'm really patient, I'm like that. If I'm impatient, so the professor, he questioned the master impatiently. Master is the priest. Master impatiently, master, what's happening?
pouring when the cup is full?
Why do you keep pouring? Why do you keep pouring? Here is continuing. Why do you continue pouring? You are pouring and pouring and pouring. You don't stop. Why do you keep pouring when the cup is full? Master, the cup is full. Why do you keep pouring when the cup is full? He did not understand. Who did not understand? The professor did not understand the thing.
I want to point out to you, the master said, that you
I
are
want to point out to you, the master said. Aha. The master said, I want to point out to you. What is pointing out? Pointing out. Pointing, point a finger, pointer, point. This is the pointer. This one, this is thumb, this is pointer. Pointing out, showing something. I mean, that, so that you can notice it. Oh, this you have this has a grammar mistake. Yeah, I can point out your grammar mistakes. And somebody would say, the teacher would say, point out. Point out means show. Point out, not point in. Point out. Yeah, I can point out your grammar mistakes. The teacher would say, point out means show, so that you can notice. I want to point out to you. I want to show you. The master said. Who said? The master said, I want to point out to you. I want to show you. I want you to understand this fact.
similarly attempting to understand Zen while your mind is full.
That you are similarly attempting. You are similarly attempting. Attempt is try. My first attempt, my second attempt, for example, in examination, the advanced level. In my first attempt, I failed the examination. Attempt is try. He says, what you are similarly attempting, you are similarly attempting. So that's you are similarly attempting. You are similarly trying. Similarly means same. The same. That is, I poured tea into the cup and it was full, but I continued. No room in the cup for tea, but the tea did not go into the cup. You understand what I say? When the cup is full, even though you pour tea into the cup, the tea does not go into the cup because it is full already. You are similarly attempting to understand Zen while your mind is full. Professor, your mind is full. And now you come, it's just like a cup of tea. It's just like a cup of tea. You're full. Then you come to me and ask me what Zen is. So you cannot receive, you cannot get what I say, you cannot understand what I say, as your mind is full. So then what should we do? First, we have to remove whatever in the mind. Empty the mind. That is it. Oh yeah.
First, empty your mind of preconceptions.
First, empty your mind of preconceptions. Empty your mind. See, empty your mind means, now for example, now this is full. So now I am going to empty this one. Okay. Now this is empty. Nothing in it. There is air, but nothing in it. This is empty. Empty. Now it is empty. So please empty your mind. I emptied this one. Yeah, empty the container. Okay. I emptied the container. Clear? I emptied the container. So just like that, the master wanted the professor to empty his mind. Empty his mind of what? I emptied the container of the mouse. So, but in his head, in his mind, there is not the mouse. There are preconceptions. So empty preconceptions. What is in your mind? What is preconceptions? Conceptions mean what you believe, basically. Conceptions. Okay, right. Conceptions. People have different preconceptions. Some people think that, okay, learning English, if you want to speak English language, some people think that you have to go to a foreign country where the language is spoken, to Australia, to England, to America, or somewhere. That is their idea. And some people think, no, we don't want essentially to go there. We have to have a tutor at home. We can ask a tutor to come to our place so that he will teach us English, and we can talk to them and we can learn English language. And then some people believe that they have to go to a class and looking at the teacher speaking everything in Sinhala, probably looking at, then they can learn how to speak the language. And sometimes people think that watching YouTube videos continuously, it will improve your English, and that's okay, that's good, it happens, and you would be able to speak the language. It's a problem, as we think. That is my conception. Okay. So preconceptions. Previously you have thought, the ideas you have in your mind, you have gained, you have received, you have filled all these things in your mind previously, not now. They are sort of experiences from your childhood. You collect things in your head. And you think, this should be that should be this should be that, and things like that. They are preconceptions. What you have conceived, taken. Preconceptions. Clear. Your ideas, that means, in a very simple way, your ideas, preconceptions, what you believe. First, empty your mind of preconception. First, you have conceptions. You think that this is that, this is that, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. So remove all these things first.
Before you attempt to understand Zen.
Before you attempt to understand Zen, attempt means try. I told you. Before you attempt to understand Zen, if you want to understand what Zen is, first you have to empty your mind. No preconceptions allowed. Clear? Right.
If your mind is empty, it is always ready for anything. It is open to everything. In the beginner's mind,
it is open to everything. If your mind is empty, if your mind not full, if your mind is empty, it is always ready for anything. Yeah, it is open to everything. So you just think that this is full. And if I try to put things into this, no, I cannot put things into this, new things. So if I empty my mind, you can place it inside. So that is what he says. If your mind is empty, it is always ready for anything. It is ready for anything. That is good idea. That is good idea. When we have preconceptions, we would say, oh, no, that is not a good idea. No, I know that. I know that. That's wrong. That is not a good idea. We would say, no. First, you have to empty your mind. It is always ready for anything. It is open to everything or anything. Yeah.
mind. There are many possibilities. In the expert
In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. That is really important. In the beginner's mind, beginner means if you are going to learn something, beginner. Yeah. For example, learning English, beginner. They have no idea. When you have no idea of the English language, you don't know how to learn. People would say you should do this and you can learn that way. And another set of people would say, you follow this, you just read newspapers and it would do. And different people have different opinions. If you go to YouTube channels or whatever, 1,000 people have 1,000 opinions. We believe everything. We believe everything. Oh, this is the channel, we should learn that. This is the channel, we should learn that. This is the English, and we can learn English from English. People believe different things. Maybe they are wrong. So in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. So they cannot do things because they have many possibilities. Oh, this is, we can do it this way. We can do it this way. Possible means can. The ways that possibilities mean different methods that you can do something. Learning English, one possibility is going to a country. One possibility is having a tutor at home. One possibility is going to a class and looking at the teacher's mouth. Okay, always single and single and single and single. And then another possibility, that is a preconcept, they basically come. Yeah. Another point is watching YouTube videos. Another point is listening to commentaries. Another point is reading newspapers. Another reading novels. Another reading short stories. Another writing journals. And lot of things, hundreds of things that you can do to improve your English language. That is the beginner. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, so they cannot do the job because different people have different opinions. That is the father, son and the Burua story, just like they cannot do that. But
there are few.
But in experts' mind, there are few options. Few options. So then they select best out of the few options they have. If you have hundreds of options, you first do this and you find that it is not okay and you do another thing. Maybe that is wrong. But when you have experience, you narrow all these things to 2-3 options. That is learned men, experts. In the expert's mind, there are few.
You see in life, in your...
That is the basic story. They say that if we have preconceptions. For example, in my case, learning English. People think that this is the way that we can learn the English language. But going to school 13 years and doing diplomas, doing everything that we cannot speak. So there should be something wrong somewhere. Clear, yeah. That is it. So therefore, you have to be very careful. You have to find the way. You see in life, in your life, in our lives.
Life. We all are full of preconceptions all the time. We are constantly
full of preconceptions all the time. All the time, we have preconceptions. You understand preconceptions?
And trying to relate
we are
things, actions.
We are constantly judging. We are constantly judging. We judge. This is the best thing. This is the best way. We judge. Judge means we think that it is right. It is correct. We judge. This is wrong. This is right. I judge. And that is what judges do. What judges do is they gather facts, evidence, and then they think, this is the bad guy, this is the good guy. Yeah, something like that. And trying to relate things, actions, disasters to one another. And trying to relate things, actions, disasters to one another. And trying to relate. Trying to relate. Relate means showing relationships. Relationships, that is showing relationships. That is, relationships is basically relationships, that mean connections. Relationships. this happens because of that. Ah, yeah, that is happening that way. Ah, it is the reason is that we show relations, trying to relate things, actions, disasters to one another. We can see a disaster. Disaster is a really problem. Tsunami is a disaster. So if an accident, that is a sort of a disaster. It's a bad thing, so, something massive, something big. So we connect disasters, things, actions to one another. Now, for example, so actions. Somebody is driving a car without license, and then if he meets with an accident, we say, the reason is this. Yeah, maybe some truth in it. But some people having the license, they can't drive, So we connect things. That is. So because we have preconceptions, we have ideas. So when we look at things, we connect. This is because of that. This is because of this. So that is one thing that we have to be very careful.
Disasters to one another. But this is wrong. Our mind must be empty.
Our mind must be empty. Our mind must be empty first. I mean, when you try to judge something, if you have preconceptions, you cannot judge. So you have to remove all these things. If you think that this guy is the good one, this guy is the bad one, if a judge thinks, when people come into the court, when people come into that premises, that area, the judge thinks, that guy seems to be the culprit, that guy seems to be the bad guy, this guy seems to be the good guy, before asking, or before going to evidence, before talking to them, then that is bad. The judge should say, this guy is just like a thuggery man, this guy is innocent. No, you cannot do that. The judge should be judge and no preconceptions. So our mind must be empty.
We should not have any preconceptions, and we should take
every preconceptions.
Event, every word, every feeling as what it is.
Everything, every feeling, every event, whatever it is, as what it is.
Keep an empty mind, and your heart.
Keep an empty mind always. That means they ask you to forget everything that you have learned. No, you have that. In judging things, you should not be biased. Bias means taking someone's side, taking that side. Yeah. You should think that I have no idea. This is a new thing to me. Yeah. Keep an empty mind and your heart will be always full. If your mind is empty, your heart is always full. If the mind is full, heart is empty. On the other hand, on the other way around, yeah, they say that if your mind is full, heart is empty. In a way, no, it should not be. But keep an empty mind, so you will be happy really, and your heart will be always full.
Be always full. This is Dare to Do Motivation Stories. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.
Thanks for watching and stay blessed. You should have blessings, what the guy says. So really very interesting story. So finally, I should say something to you. So one thing, be very careful in judging things. We have realized there are many places that we have gone wrong when judging things, maybe in your lives. So therefore, when you judge people, you have to be very careful. Judge situations, judge events, anything. So please subscribe, share, press the bell icon, and comment most importantly. Bye.